got a lot to talk about today, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, check out this awesome UFO video shared by Paul Oglesby Jr., who says a daytime UFO filmed by my buddy Drew that looks very similar to the viral UFO filmed from a plane. And he's referring to this video, which I'm sure that you guys have seen. Great daytime footage, filmed from a plane of this possibly manta ray shaped UFO, as in the Skywatcher description. Although the Skywatcher manta rays were kind of tumbling, and this seems, in the limited amount of video that we have, to be steadier. But hey, let me know if you think that's a Skywatcher type manta ray. And here is the video shared by Paul from his buddy Drew of this craft that I'm not sure if it's manta ray shaped or a saucer or, pyramidal shape, or is it changing shape as it goes? Either way, a really interesting sighting of a cool craft. I like this one a lot. Let me know what you guys think. What is the shape of this thing? First of all, it's like a spinning top one moment, like a pyramid the next, like a saucer the next, but very possibly something like a manta ray shaped craft. Very interesting sighting, and thank you for sharing that, Paul, and thank you, Drew, also for sharing that. Meanwhile, Jeremy Corbell is talking about future UFO whistleblowers that might be called before Congress.
There are whistleblowers, and there are 3 who have confirmed to me, firsthand whistleblowers, that they will testify under oath publicly at Congress. Congress needs to respond to this video. It is time for them to respond to this, because I have people that are willing to testify at the next congressional hearing on UAP. There will be more hearings. If they have courage, there will be more hearings. And I have 3 firsthand witnesses that they can put up to testify.
Man, I hope they do. Wouldn't that be amazing? And it would be great if Congress did respond to this video, or if the Pentagon confirmed that this flying saucer is actually legit military video. That would be amazing. I don't expect them to do that, but, they have in the past confirmed videos leaked through Jeremy and George, so maybe they would do it again. But yeah, there he is talking about future whistleblowers. He also has this post. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says a number of firsthand military and intelligence community UAP whistleblowers and witnesses have directly confirmed to me and George Knapp that they are willing and ready to testify at the next congressional UAP hearing, if called. Then he goes into what, firsthand, really means, and I'll let you read that at your leisure. I'm very excited about these whistleblowers potentially being brought before Congress. However, I have, doubts that that's going to happen because of what happened at the last UFO hearing. Apparently, members of Congress wanted to bring direct UFO participants, retrieval and reverse engineering participants, before Congress at the last go-round, but there was some sort of interference, and they were not allowed to do that. So, I'm glad that Lou Elizondo got his, day in court, if you will, but I think we would all really like to see these direct participants of these programs coming forward, ideally with evidence that can be corroborated. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? And they have it. Now, theoretically, that now that David Grush is a staffer of Eric Burleson, supposedly they are able to access his information easier. So we'll see if that happens, and if his 40 plus whistleblowers and witnesses, as well as these 3 that Jeremy is talking about, might be brought forward at the next hearing, ideally, theoretically, that is going to happen in July. Meanwhile, people are talking about the Buga sphere and the Yumba sphere, or the Yumbo sphere, the second Buga style sphere seen in that same area. Of course, there have been various other similar objects filmed in that area and around the world. But let's talk about Buga and Yumbo. The Buga sphere changed weight from 2 kilograms to 10 kilograms, from Skywatch signal, confirming or talking about the evidence and the research thus far. It emitted shifting radio-like signals, displayed unknown electromagnetic behavior, was confirmed not to be suspended by wires or a drone. This is not a hoax. Engineers, eyewitnesses, physical data, they're risking everything to speak. So, yeah, it's not a hoax. People are trying to say it's a simple hoax, it's dangling from a wire, but they did that. They dangled a sphere from a wire, and it is clearly and obviously just dangling from a wire and basically serving as a pendulum. Yeah, that was footage of the pendulum. So yeah, it's not a simple hoax. If it is a hoax, it is not a simple hoax. Timothy Alberino says, not sure what to think about the Bugosphere right now. It looks fake as hell, but apparently some guys dressed as cops tried to steal it from Jaime's vault in Mexico City a couple of nights ago. If this is true, it might lend some credibility to the artifact. Yeah, indeed it might. I'm really, kind of confused by that. I like to think that the men in black are a little bit more competent than that. I don't know why I like to think that, but I do. They have brainwashed the entire public for 80 years or whatever. They've murdered many people to keep a lid on all of this. You would think that they would be able to pull off a robbery, but they can't beat Jaime Maussan. Jaime Maussan beats the control group. I love it. But yeah, so it is weird. It looks man-made. It's got scratches. It looks like something we could do, but we can't do it. Flying around with no visible means of propulsion, changing weight, all the other stuff, a really weird piece of hardware. Obviously not something you can go and buy at Walmart. So what is this thing? If it is man-made, who are the men making it, and why is it flying around South America? Why are these things seen flying all over the world? If this is the UFO control group technology, what is the UFO control group doing with this technology? If it's NHI, what is NHI doing with this technology? If it's a hoax, it's not a simple hoax. Now, the Yumbosphere, which is filmed like 25 miles away from the Bugosphere location. The Yumbosphere from I'm going to butcher your name, Jos C. Rios, or Jos C. Rios. You've got to teach me how to say your name. The Yumbosphere exhibits wobbling caused by external forces acting on it or by internal imbalances in the distribution of mass within the sphere. The witness reported that it was spinning rapidly, and the recording produced a stroboscopic effect that revealed the holes. So yeah, you can see it has a very similar equator, these lines and these holes, just like the Bugosphere, an extremely similar piece of technology. So is it, are they just cranking these off of assembly line? Are they cranking them out of an assembly line? Do they all have these, hemispheres and holes? Does the Yumbosphere also have a design on top of it like the Bugosphere does? Or did the Bugosphere possibly fall into human hands and humans put that etching on it? However, if they did it, they were using sophisticated technology even to put the etching on it. And if humans did capture it and putting an etching on it, how then did they get it to function? And you could say maybe they didn't get it to function very well because it fell out of the sky. So what is this thing, guys? It is super fascinating. I'd love to know your thoughts. Meanwhile, John Ramirez is sharing his thoughts about alien DNA and possibly how beings are connected genetically to humans.
So the second part of that discussion was about beings, that there were aliens, there were actual aliens, and that they were able to collect DNA from aliens. And that's when they discovered, and this didn't happen in 47, happened later. Probably they had tissue samples or whatever that they've stored, and they were able to recover DNA. And when we discovered how to sequence the human genome, and we sequenced the alien DNA, and we discovered that, there are markers in there that look very human. Human hybrids. That what looks like an alien has, for some reason, has human genetic markers in their DNA, in the genome. And so I found that to be interesting. And to answer your question, that's when I thought, this sounds pretty classified to me.
This is kind of
Yeah, so what does that mean, guys? Are the Greys actually hybrids created from human DNA from abductions going back thousands or God knows how long, how many years? Or are humans created by the beings from some genetic, tissue that they have that also they are made from, or that they make the Greys from? We don't know who the ultimate puppet masters are of all of this. The mantis beings seem like they are at the top of the pyramid that we can see, and beyond the mantis beings we can't see. But they are the overlords of the project. Whoever's doing the abductions, the mantis beings seem like they are, the bosses. But they are simply the managers of this project, and they seem to be managers of this project on other worlds as well, according to various experiencers. But we don't know who the employer, if you will, of these managers are, because the mantis beings, however high and mighty they may be, these higher dimensional entities, according to my best evidence, and I've shared some of that with you, we don't know who sent them. At least I don't, but let me know if you have it all figured out in the comments below. Fascinating information that we may be genetically linked to the gray aliens. To me, that makes a lot of sense. The beings seem heavily interested in genetics. They are masters of genetics. They create hybrids. They themselves may be hybrids, or at least the Greys may very well be hybrids, created beings of one sort or another. We may be created beings of one sort or another. All life on Earth may be products of this genetic experimenting, or the ultimate realization of their processes, whatever those are. We do not know what exactly those are. DNA is clearly very important to them, and that's one reason why I always bring up Deep Prasad, his encounter when the UFO superimposed itself over him. Quantum computer guru Deep Prasad, experiencer Deep Prasad, who's fairly outspoken on Twitter, on X, he had this amazing download from these beings, and it was all in like hieroglyphics and stuff he couldn't understand. The only thing that he could actually understand were the words DNA. Those were the only intelligible things in that whole download experience. DNA. So DNA is very important to them. We know this. They are, creating entire races or sub-races. Just look at the Nazca beings. They love to play around with genes. So what does that ultimately mean? How are we connected to them? And who is the ultimate boss of all of this? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Meanwhile, Michael Schallenberger on Joe Rogan revealed that on the very day that he published the story about UFOs, he saw UFOs. I wish I could play the clip, but every time I play a Joe Rogan clip, I get a copyright claim, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Other channels can play it just fine. I don't know why I get targeted, but I do. So, I'll link to this and you can watch it at your leisure. But Michael Schallenberger says that, he saw multiple UFOs on this day that he released this paper. And they were, just flying across the sky, floating, as he says. And of course, Joe Rogan tries to say, hey, maybe they're Mylar balloons. But Michael Schallenberger is insisting that these are anomalous objects. He's not buying the balloon idea. Really interesting. It happened the day that he dropped that article. Unclear if that's related in any way or not. But I thought I would share something with you guys that I haven't shared before. A couple, 3 weeks ago, when I saw that orb, for the first time, I got to see an orb close up, if only for a moment, as it buzzed my car. Well, okay, so that was after the CE5 event, right? The UFO Skywatch that my UFO group had put together out at this place of high strangeness. And I left that place, which is in a very rural location, had a 2-hour drive back home. So it's 1:30 at night. I'm driving down the road. I've got 30 minutes left in my drive. And I'm thinking about the channel. I'm thinking about Cosmic Road and how I'm going to relate the experience of the CE5 event, where we were seeing multiple anomalous objects. Nothing super crazy, no trajectory changes or speed changes or anything really out of the ordinary, but we were seeing a number of objects we couldn't explain. And I was, trying to figure out how to, tell that story. How much of the paranormal stuff to leave in, how much to leave out, that kind of thing. How to frame the story. And as I'm thinking about this, the orb appears. It could have appeared at any time in that 2-hour drive, but it appeared when I was thinking about how to share this information. I think it wanted like a bullet or, a button to end the story on. It wanted a nice bow to put on that story. And so it gave me that experience. And I don't know if that has anything to do with Michael Schellenberger's experience. Obviously, it didn't inform the contents of his article, but it could have been communicating with him in some way or giving him a nudge that maybe he did the right thing and that it wanted him to share this information. Just some thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Meanwhile, per UAP Reporting Center, Russian cosmonaut Viktor Afanasyev, nailed that, revealed he saw a massive metallic UFO in orbit in 1979.
It followed us during half of our orbit. We observed it on the light side, and when we entered the shadow side, it disappeared completely. It was an engineering structure made from some type of metal, approximately 40 meters long with inner holes. The object was narrow here and wider here, and inside there were openings. Some places had projections like small wings. The object stayed very close to us. We photographed it, and our photos showed it to be 23 to 28 meters away. It is still classified as a UFO.
Well, that is a really cool, interesting object. I mean, look at that. It's got wings and windows and stuff. It really looks more man-made, don't you think? Is this one of ours, or is this one of theirs? Let me know your theories in the comments below, but it kind of reminds me of the Roswell craft, which was kind of a stingray-shaped vehicle. And I don't think that was piloted by humans. So apparently they do have kind of wings, kind of these tapered wings on some of their ships. So let me know what you think about this really interesting sighting. Last but not least, even giraffes need chiropractors. That's right. Apparently this guy is an amazing giraffe chiropractor. And this giraffe really appreciates what he's done for him. So let me know what you think about this amazing giraffe and his chiropractor and everything else covered today in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Links are below. If you want to support the channel in a bigger way, grab a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really do appreciate your support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.